Righto, we're out buying stuff that I don't really need. Right, so you guys have seen my wife before on the channel, Nicole. This was the same as her first car. She had an early Corona as her first car. I'm just on the side of the road out from where I bought the car. It was on Facebook. I spotted it. I had to go to Roma yesterday. I would have loved to have come and bought it yesterday, but the guy was awesome, like great bloke, and his mate was there when I picked it up, and you'd struggle to find nicer guys. And they held onto it for me, which is pretty rare these days for someone to stand behind what they say. But anyway, I'll give you a look. It looks terrible in the photos, like, so we might start there actually. So have a look at these photos, right? So it was on Facebook, and when you look through, see on the photos how it looks like it's rusty, but it's not. See around the edges there, it is rusty. You can see there under the bonnet, see under the bonnet there, it's rusty across the bottom, but it's all, he's fish oiled this thing, and it's been sitting for about 20 years. You can see the photo, see how bad it was? That's why I think a lot of people didn't really give it a second look. Someone's done a restoration on it years ago and put spray putty on it, spray putty. And it's all starting to peel, and it's cracked underneath. But the fish oil that old mate's put in it, which is all that stuff there that's attracted all the dirt, has saved the car. It's got rust here and here. The bottom of that door's starting to go, but the rear quarters are pretty good. Like, it's not a bad sort of vehicle. He said this window winder wasn't working. The interior doesn't really match, which doesn't really worry me, but the hood liner is good, and the dash is in really good shape. It was a column shift. You can see the little knob there on the column, and it's now a floor shift. The floors seem to be pretty solid. We are going to get this back to the workshop and have a look. It's got the original motor. This guard's a bit dinted and it's missing a front bar. So anyone that's watching, if you've got some parts for these are an rt40 Corona. Yeah, so Nicole's first car she learned to drive in was a little Corona like this. I have been looking for one for years and years. They got the indicators are actually here, so that there moves like that, and that's your indicators. That was the one thing she always says about the car. The brakes are pulled apart, but I have in amongst those cars, I don't know if you've seen the video yet, but there was a heap of cars. There was an orange Corona that I pulled out with a heap of old Holdens the other day. I wasn't sure whether I was going to grab it or not, but I did, and it is the exact car I need to do a disc brake conversion on the front. So I'd like to, these are 13s, I'd like to use a set of 14s if I can find them, widen, stocky with 14s. The hubcaps are up on the back parcel shelf there. And there's the brake drums. There's new shoes that come with it, but we're going to be doing a disc brake conversion. I was talking to Captain yesterday. Apparently Holden 6 cylinders are a very common conversion for this. So we've got one that come out of a HQ ute that's cammed. It's got X2 manifolds on it and a 4-speed. So this might end up, I'm not sure yet, but this is the one that'll get kept. This is for Nicole, and I'm pretty excited. I don't know about you guys. It's all right, we might head back. I'm over near Gympie at the moment. It's a couple of hours from Nanango where we are. Yeah, let's get this back and let's have a look, eh? Who's excited? I am. Nicole's going to be stoked. I'm so happy. All right, so we've got her back to the workshop and up in the air. It looks pretty good all through the chassis rails, down through here. The sill panels are pretty good both sides. You've got this little bit here, which isn't too bad. The worst thing that I can find is in the floor there and there, so that it must just fill up with water along there. But other than that, the inside of here, the chassis rails seem pretty good. The fuel tank's not rusted out, which is back here. Like all your mounts for your springs are good. Tank seems good. Beaver tail's got a little bit, but it's not rusted out. You know, it's pretty bad just there, but you know, in the scheme of these, it's pretty good. Like it's, yeah, I don't know. It's come up quite good. It's not going to be too bad. Sometimes when you get it up in the air there, it ends up being a lot worse, but there's a little bit in the door there. This guard's a bit dinged, but we'll tidy that up. I'm missing this chrome strip. I'll have to have a look in the car, and we're front bar, so yeah, it's going to need a full rubber kit through it. My next step will be matching up stub axles, which are these here, to change over to disc brakes. But I've got, I'll take you for a walk down there in a sec. I'll show you this other car I've got for parts. Alright, you would have seen the other day, if I've edited that video, there was this Corona, which is a later model one. The limited amount of research I've done, which I'm going to do today, a bit more today, is that this thing here has the right stub axles to do a disc brake conversion. So it's missing the master, but there is a booster there, which is good. And yeah, this stub axles off for that. So I don't know if there's a lot of other stuff that's interchangeable. Look at that old school stack out, remember them ones? Yeah, so we'll go through and yeah, that's right. I have to order a new master. I'll probably get a new booster too, and get some kits to redo the calipers and change over the stub axles for this thing, so we've got disc brakes. Whatever engine we do or whatever we do, it will be upping the horsepower a little bit. So instead of brakes, it's probably worthwhile. Look at that, she's a cool little rig. I'm pretty happy with it. Yeah, what about you guys? You got any fond memories of grandmothers or anything that owned one of these? Did you have one as your first car? Yeah. So it's just got the standard 4-cylinder, probably a 2 or a 3Y. Radiator has a big copper one, which is good. Geez, I don't know if you'd fit a Holden 6-cylinder in there. You'd have to move the radiator forward. Holden 6-cylinder to be all that. You'd have to run a thermo fan. I don't know. Don't really want to modify firewalls, because then you start running into engineering trouble and roadworthy issues. There you go, so it's a 1967 as far as I know. Most of the chrome's there. Cool. Oh, another adventure. I love it. Right, so I've just got to work and I'm just having a bit of a look at it. We're both actually quite surprised. The ignition doesn't seem to turn, so I'm going to grab my graphite powder and sort that ignition out. It was a column car, but now it's on the floor. They've changed that, which actually looks pretty good. It's not actually bad. Like, there's a little bit of rust, but just all that crap that they've put on there just makes it look atrocious. It all seems to be pretty complete. That's probably the worst bit of rust, that there, which is on the inside of the bonnet, but the outside is still good. All the door trims are there. The dash is all together, which is quite good.
Oh, there we go. Just got to turn the key around the other way.
Okay, so it works. Doesn't need graphiting. Okay. Alright, I'll do that in a sec. The hood liner is in really good shape, which is good. We're going to try and get it to run now. The clutch works, the brakes aren't there. The boot lid, the boot's in good shape, but can I hold that there? They're fish oiled inside the boot, which has saved it probably, which is good. Like, the edges of the boot are quite good. So she's a gem. It's going to be awesome. So yeah, righto. So under here it all looks to be complete, except for the brakes are missing. But yeah, but I have that other car. Good. We'll see if she fires up. At least grabbing a battery now. Is he? No?
Okay, alright.
What's that? We're going to try and start it?
Yeah, I got the jump pack in.
Alright, okay. I'll just make sure it's out of gear. Yep.
Go for it. No.
Really?
That's running it idly. Like, it's a bit rough. It's probably got stale fuel.
It's probably cold as. Like, honestly guys, we hadn't played with it. That was a first. Was that running, that camera? Yep. Alright. Got to feather it to keep it running.
Yeah, the accelerator part. If we can. Yeah, let me do the.
You can do the throttle, yeah?
Yeah, I'm just going to try and pull whatever crap in it through. Okay.
Could it be out of fuel, perhaps?
Yeah. Oh yeah, it's not spraying anything out the squirters at all.
Alright, well I might go get some fuel.
Does it have a filter? Oh yeah, that's the filter there. Oh, there's fuel in the filter.
Alright.
Oh, maybe we'll just get some air up and we'll try and keep it running till it sucks the fuel up.
Yeah, we can go.
Yeah.
Alright, we're going to try and get it running, we'll be back with you guys. But how good was that? Like, honestly, that was... I know that seemed like we'd set that up, but we hadn't. I was, yeah, bargain. Just like I bought one. Alright, it sounds pretty cool too.
That's it. Final.
I just put it through all the gears. Every gear works and reverse. I don't think we'll bother pulling this out. We'll clean it up and... Alright, so we discussed it a little bit this morning. We were thinking Holden red motor, but 6-cylinder, it's not really going to fit. I definitely want to put air conditioning in it, so we use this car. So it needs a bit more horsepower. So a little side mount supercharger or something, but I don't think we'll swap this out. And we're going to look for and watch for the right engine and gearbox combination to go into this and not rush into it. Wait for something to come through the yard and yeah, temp gauge is coming up, so it's water. But yeah, I'm really happy with that. If it had brakes, which it will this week sometime, yeah, we'll be driving this week for sure. But it goes into gear quite well. The clutch needs bleeding up. It looks like it's got motor oil in there for fluid. But that's a result. That's awesome. Very happy. Very happy. All right, guys. Matt.